Hello everybody, my name is X Factor, and we're about to go on a massive kill streak with Zenyatta, one of the support classes available in the Overwatch beta. And one of the most important things you have at your disposal is that purple little orb, your debuff that goes on an enemy player. They take increased damage from anybody in the game, and then of course you can see them through the wall as you see that red little symbol, half a yin or yang, as they're flying around the wall. So some things to keep in mind when you're in Zenyatta. You are a healer. You do heal yourself very, very quickly once you get out of combat, but you can heal other players one at a time, and it's an auto heal. All you have to do is hit left shift. But if multiple targets are taking damage, you might have to bounce that heal around. It's not this big, massive heal as you see the points rolling in and how much heal I'm actually doing. Somebody's probably going to get DPS down, so it's more than important to keep an eye on your players and take care of those that are smart enough to come back to you and not just go into a bad situation. So you do have DPS. You have the single shot, then you can build up to a multi-shot. Then again, if you have that debuff on somebody, as I do right now, you can see that person if they're going to be coming around the corner. You can load up and basically nuke them down. Zenyatta can do absolute disgusting damage and just murders people if you play the class right. And the most important thing is to stay with the group. Don't be alone, because there's a lot of hard counters to Zenyatta, because the velocity of Zenyatta's projectile isn't the fastest. So if you're not feeling it, you might just absolutely get destroyed. As I get a little bit of a nuke on one of their heavies, one of their more tanky players, as he wants to come to the party, and down he goes. So healing, staying with the group, getting your debuff on, making sure you self-heal, and then knowing when to pop your ultimate. You can't be rooted, you can't be stunned, and it's a massive heal on everybody around you on your team. AoE heal, which is huge, especially when you're trying to move the cart, and there might be a turret or a bastion around the corner, or there's just a bunch of bad guys looking at you. So it's more about timing that when your team can make a big push around a corner or through a choke point. So there you see me working the basic debuff, and that's something you have to do multiple times on Tracer. If she rewinds, you're more than likely going to have to debuff her again, and that's very helpful because Tracer, a good Tracer behind you, is an absolute nightmare. She might not kill everybody, but she's going to be annoying, and work on the weaker players, the support cast, the healers, maybe McCree, and just grind. Just create this massive grind where you just can't get through a certain checkpoint as I get the debuff on and try to keep getting those heals out. So it's important to keep your heal on the tanky players if they're pushing the cart, right? Because those are the ones that can stay on the cart. More than likely it's a Reinhardt that has a shield and can keep that cart moving forward, so you're not eating up your timer. As I get another partial nuke going, and there you see that wonderful debuff. And obviously they're not actually in the room, they're through the wall there. So it's important to keep the tanky players up, keep that auto heal on them the majority of the time. So usually what I do the most often is debuff, early and often. I try to get the biggest threat, or if I'm out on my own, kind of like I was there, I'll debuff the person that's the biggest threat to me. So then it's healing, of course. Keeping the right player healed, and see me getting out of combat right here. And that's how quick the auto heal kicks in. It's pretty darn fast. Don't even need to really be on the cart. So get that auto heal going, back into the action, watching your flanks, and again, that's where the debuff comes in. It's something that they cannot take off. There's nothing they can do. Eventually, it'll drop off, or if it's Tracer, they can basically rewind it off. And here you see me popping my ultimate again as the tank's kind of pushing and flanking around, and this has a pretty good range. And there again, Tracer behind us just got wrecked. Once you get the debuff on Tracer, it's only 2 or 3 shots. It's harder than it may seem, and there you see me land a couple of the build-up shots right there, more than likely getting that player down to around half or less. And I don't have my debuff on them, so it's one of those things when you build up that, you have to use it or basically lose it, and more than likely you're going to be reloading as well. So you do get 20 shots. You can build up a nuke of around 10, I think, which will single DPS down most targets in the game, except for the more tanky ones. And it's a lot of fun to use, as good old Lucio goes to half health, and obviously he hits one button, and he can self-heal or speed up the players around him. And here you see me bouncing back into more of a support role. Just because Zenyatta says support doesn't mean you are a true support player. You could be massive DPS and just smack people in the face. It's actually one of my favorite classes to play. If we have a couple guys go DPS and tank, I am more than happy to grab Zenyatta, knowing I could save a couple teammates and keep the push going, because with my ultimate, which is extremely easy to build, you build it through DPS, you build it through healing others, and of course all those assists in there. You see a nice little partial hook there, or nuke there on Roadhog. Lucio goes down. It's an absolute blast to play. To save my hide right there, pop my ultimate, because we've got 3 guys on the cart, so why not finish this? Zenyatta is a blast to play. It's one of the most unique characters that I've ever seen, between the DPS, the healing, and the debuffing. It's a great combo for defensive teams or offensive teams. It really goes well with tanks and DPS. Just remember to keep yourself in good surroundings. Keep that debuff out early and often, because you actually get assists for that, and it really helps your team DPS down some of those harder targets, or just completely destroy some of the softies. And there's something you don't see every day. 2 cards on the board. Hope you guys enjoyed this Overwatch beta gameplay. Let me know what character you guys want to see next, because I've got an absolute ton of footage. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it an old thumbs up. We'll see you guys soon.
I can respect that.